puffed. You have desecrated the spirit of the lamp. Prepare to face the consequences. Oh no. I'm so sorry I done crashed my Eldorado all up into your lemonade, son. You can expect payment from me in love and well and some fried chicken grease. That's okay there, Puffed. I accept your acceptance. Bang your head to the opening riff.
What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub here with The Real Rush, and welcome to episode 12 right here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Got a lot of ground to cover this episode. We'll try not to rant too much. I said that last episode, and then look what happened, and now look what I'm doing right now. But seriously, y'all, what did I say last episode? There was going to be some records set and some records broken this weekend. So let's go ahead and get on down to brass tacks with what was an epic weekend for The Real Rush. First up, Thursday night. Not even movie-wise. Well, still movie-wise, but not quite movie-wise. We hit 100 Thursdays, hence 100 weeks in a row at the box office. Holla at your boy. Next up, the one that I mentioned last weekend, that this week I was going to have 8 movies to review for y'all. Usually, at least within the last couple weeks, it hasn't been able to come to fruition. Whatever number of movies I promised the first week, I never delivered the next week. It's always like one less, or in some cases one more. I don't quite remember. It's these last 12 episodes, they've been a little bit of a blur. But I still keep them in my mind somewhat. But I cannot access them while I'm recording a new episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, my DVR doesn't quite work like that. At least I haven't upgraded like that yet. Yet I digress. But last week, I did mention that this week we were going to have 8 new movies to review for y'all. And I got all 8 done. Therefore, my record that I set last month of 7 movies in a weekend, being the most I've ever seen in a Thursday to Sunday period, we broke that already. I just set that a month ago. Not only that, but this is 8 movies between Thursday and Saturday, because I'm filming this on Sunday night. Son, that's insane. So I'm a little wired, if you can't tell. But wait, there's more. There's more. We left off last episode with 193 movies having been seen by us for The Real Rush this season alone, starting from January, when the season started, when season 2 started. That means that since we saw 8, we broke 200 for this season. And there's still a month left to go. And since it's 8, add that to 193, what you get? You don't even need a TI-86 for this one, yo. It's 201. 201. A math teacher would have fucking slapped me for saying 201. O is not a number, and 0 is not a letter, is what she would have said. Then she would have slapped me. I don't know if she would have really slapped me, but maybe. I don't know. But yeah, 201. So that means that our last season total was 164. So you take 164, cha-ching, and then plus 201, cha-ching. That gives us a grand total of cha-ching! 365 total movies that we've seen in the theater as part of The Real Rush since I started January 2017 with Split. That's 365 movies in the theater in under 2 years, all never before seen by these eyes before that theater experience, and no repeats. And there's my Ace Ventura-ish moment, ladies and gentlemen. So, not only that, yeah, there's a PS. Those are the big records. But yesterday, if you were in the DC metropolitan area, as in yesterday, that would be Saturday, it was raining all day, just hardcore, heavy as hell all day. So I drove through like 2 floods and 2 downpours for this shit, and got a flat tire doing this shit. So damn near ran Tito into the ground doing this. Tito, I do apologize. We gonna get that taken care of later on, and I'm gonna explain that a little bit later on as well. But enough with the accolades and the bumps and the bruises and everything that we had to go to get here to where we are. Let's get to these 8 movies. Now there was something else that I left off last episode with. Now which one of these movies got movie 200? Huh? Movie number 200 for this season. What did I leave off last episode with? That had another advanced screening coming for y'all. Aquaman got number 200. That honored spot. Because I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do that within another year again. Maybe not. I don't know. It's too early to tell. Too many more years to go. But yes, Aquaman advanced screening number 200. Seen by these eyes. It was almost a packed house here at Hoyt's last night. And everybody seemed to love it. Jason Momoa reprises his role as the Justice League character, as he did in the little snippet from Batman vs. Superman, and the role that he had in Justice League. This time he's back as he seeks claim to his throne, and as he leads his peoples against his half-brother Orm, who in himself is seeking to revolt against the surface world. His half-brother Orm, played by Patrick Wilson. This movie was directed by James Wan. Patrick Wilson, been in a couple movies. James Wan, Insidious, and The Conjuring. Yes, we'll get to a little bit more of that later. But this movie also stars Amber Heard. She's running around for 2.5 hours in a skin-tight fish scale outfit. Amazing. But that's not the only reason that this movie is amazing. It's also got Willem Dafoe, Dolph Lundgren, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Nicole Kidman. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's definitely ambitious, which is exactly what the DC Extended Universe needs right about now, at least according to popular opinion. I, for one of very few, have loved every single one of the movies that's come out, even the horribly reviewed and aforementioned Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad. I like that joint too. Maybe not to everybody's liking, but if you keep in mind the artistic merit and the, the fact that you were talking about fictional characters and comic book shit, then, hey, free your mind and the rest will follow. Know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? But, different topic for a different time. Back to Aquaman. The underwater, actually, the visual and special effects are very well done. The humor in it is pretty good without going overboard or sounding too cheesy or trying to emulate that of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You can see the improvements that they're steadily making in becoming their own franchise. So that's very good. If they continue on this path, yeah, I see bigger things that everybody shall enjoy in the future of the DC Extended Universe. And that being said, Wonder Woman still reigns supreme as the supreme DCEU movie. Where would I rank Aquaman? It's better than Justice League, and I really like Justice League. I would rank this, for now I'm going to tie this as second with Man of Steel, and the only reason this is a temporary tie, the only reason I'm doing this is because the last time I saw Man of Steel was when I saw that joint in the theater 5 years ago. So I would like to sit down and rewatch that and, reset, get a little bit of a fresh perspective. Different eyes between 2013 and 2018. Yet I digress again. Oh no, this is better than Justice League, so that's not a digression. I should say, let me go back. So yeah, we said it's better than Justice League, and as I stated before, it's directed by James Wan, who also directed Saw, Insidious, The Conjuring, and Furious 7. So once again, Patrick Wilson, he's in it. Lee Wanell, from a couple of James Wan's movies as well. He makes a cameo as a cargo plane pilot, which is pretty cool. See it! Go see Aquaman. Like I said, it's better than Justice League. That got mixed reviews. That that was pretty polarizing. That was about the middle ground. That seems to be like the middle ground of the DC Extended Universe so far. Once again, I really like Justice League. I got the fucking steelbook sitting over there, man. So yeah, yeah. I think it's the is it the 4K? I don't remember if it's the 4K or not, but it doesn't matter because I got the steelbook and it's at least the Blu-ray. Yet I digress. A lot of people are on the fence about Justice League. This is the one that should turn the tide. Go see Aquaman. It opens in theaters everywhere officially on this coming Friday, actually, December 21st. But of course, you got your Thursday night screening, so Thursday, December 20th. I would highly recommend. Now, last night's showing, the Amazon Prime screening, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because we got to see it early, but it was in just standard theater definition. But with the special and visual effects in this movie, it looks like it's going to play out really well in like IMAX and Dolby Cinema format. I would recommend seeing it up at, if you are in the DC metro area, they will be playing it at the Airbus IMAX Theater at the National Air and Space Museum, the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum, starting this Thursday. And you're probably going to want to go see it there because it's the biggest ass IMAX screen in this area. And I think you'll enjoy it. Go see Aquaman, y'all. And holla at your boy with what you thought. Or if you were one of the lucky Amazon primers, as I was yesterday evening, to be able to have snatched this early preview screening of Aquaman, holla at your boy right here on the YouTube page of what you thought. Aquaman, y'all. Check it out when it opens later on this week. But moving right along here to a different superhero. We're going to flip the script from DC to Marvel. Going to the new animated flick. Flim Flam Floozy Flop. No, that's not the name of the film. The name of the film is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This is the new animated film that features several Spider-Men, women, people, things from all different universes. They gotta come together to save one's New York City from the clutches and the possible destruction by the hands of Kingpin. This features the voices of Shamik Moore. You got Jake Johnson, Haley Steinfeld, Mahershala Ali, Brian Tyree Henry, Lily Tomlin, John Mulaney, and my boy, one of my all-time favorite actors, him and Sam Jackson, Nicolas Cage. Sam Jackson isn't in it. Nicolas Cage does a voice in it. He's Spider-Man Noir. And I ain't even going to tell you who voices Kingpin. Because even though I went in knowing, I forgot by the time I got to the movie theater. And I don't remember until the ending credits rolled. And I was like, ooh, wow, that was pretty cool. So if you don't know by now, don't go and look that shit up. Just go and see the movie. Alright? Go ahead and guess it. And if you can't guess it throughout the movie, I think you'd be thoroughly surprised. Bravo on Spider-Verse, y'all. Bravo on Spider-Verse. It's outright hilarious at times. It's got an on-point story, and the voice acting is on point as well. The main sell, however, is the animation. The animation is primo. It's something like I've never seen before. Ever. Doesn't matter if it's on a TV screen or if it's on a theater screen. I've never seen anything like this before. I'm sure you guys will feel the same, or y'all will feel the same. It's like this crazy hybrid of CGI, standard animation, standard comic book animation, anime, and rotoscoping. And sometimes it's a little bit trippy and psychedelic. It takes me back to my rave and college days and whatnot. Yet I digress. But it looked fantastic. And I wish I'd seen this one in 3D, because this one looks like they actually did the 3D to be done right. Like, it looks like, it didn't look like it was a movie that was made for 3D. Hence, or on the flip side, it looks like that, yeah, it looks like it would hit hard in 3D. It doesn't look like it would just be 3D and for no reason. So, you're going to want to see this, hands down. I don't think it's too terribly dark for the youngins. So, it's got good morals and good values and stuff. No darker than some of the older Disney movies, and the dark. It's definitely not as dark as the Dark Crystal. Good God, I still have nightmares about that one. Might be a good family piece. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It does look ripe for the 3D, like I said. So, if you see it in 3D, let me know what you think about that. It is nominated for Best Animated Feature Film at the upcoming Golden Globes. It totally deserves this. And in my honest opinion, I'm ho. It is on par with The Incredibles 2. And my personal favorite so far for the year, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. So, Teen Titans, actually this and Teen Titans are neck and neck. So there's another tie for you for my pick for Best Animated Film of the year so far. For the time being, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Want to go check it out. I don't know if it's still holding 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's still got to be pretty high up there. Gonna want to check it out. Next up on the Real Rush Ticket. Next up on the Real Rush Ticket here now, boy. The new movie based on the 2001 steampunk novel of the same name by Philip Reeve, Mortal Engines. This takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where cities have been mounted and mechanized and motorized. Kind of like a really extreme version of, remember Homeboy Spider in Wild Wild West with Will Smith and Kevin Kline? It's like that, but way more advanced, man. And actually, no, I'm not going to say a better movie because I liked Wild Wild West too, even though that got shat on. Yet I digress. But these cities, so not only are they moving around on their own and whatnot, well, not their own, they're piloted by mechanics and such, but they prey on each other for each other's resources. Mortal Engines, it's good. I wouldn't rate it as pretty good, but it's good. It was most certainly better than expected. It seemed more like an early winter kind of like dump movie, you know, and that's a terrible term, but that's just kind of where they just plop out a movie just to kind of release it because they got it sitting on the shelf or whatnot. But no, it's good. It's a tad dry at some points, but once again, Mortal Engines, it's good. The visual effects are really well done. That would once again be the selling point of this movie. It looks like it will probably play pretty well in IMAX. I saw this one in standard theater definition as well, but it looks like it would play well on IMAX screen. And you can't doubt it's got Hugo Weaving as the main villain, so that actually, no, take that back from the visual effects. Hugo Weaving as the lead villain, that's the selling point right there. Agent Smith from The Matrix, come on, man. Come on. And if you've read the book, and or if you've seen the movie, or if you plan on seeing the movie, which I do recommend, there's a character there, a CGI character, his name is Shrike. Once again, same with the guy who did the voice of Kingpin. I went in, obviously having to hashtag the actor's name beforehand, so I knew that he was in it, but I didn't know that he was the one who played this man. I'm not going to tell you who he is. Sure ain't. Shrike. Wait till the ending credits. And yeah. Mortal Engines. It seems like, it's unfortunately bombing at the box office right now. It's considered a box office bomb at this point, which is pretty... It's a shame, because, I think a broader audience would really enjoy it. I think it's just given bad timing with all that's come out. Speaking of, one thing to loop back to Spider-Man real quick, with any comic book movie, and with Aquaman, stay through the ending credits. I forgot to say stay through the ending credits. Because I was about to, for some reason, say the same thing for Mortal Engines, but there's nothing you need to stay through the ending credits for Mortal Engines for. Yet I digress. But yeah, it's just bad timing, given what's coming out what's already come out, what's already playing. Maybe it'll fare a little bit better on Blu-ray, but I'd say go ahead and give this one a chance in the theater. Just support the theater in general, y'all. Don't always wait for stuff to come out on Blu-ray and stuff, because by the time it comes out on Blu-ray, and I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here, if you don't mind. By the time movies come out on Blu-ray or 4K or DVD or whatever medium is that you're watching it, and you're about to watch it on your TV. Most TVs these days are already preset for that motion smoothing shit. So it looks like you're watching it, and it looks like it's filtered through some type of like ultra soap opera like clear filter. I know it looks like clear, like you can reach through and you can actually touch the pores on I don't know, whatever. I was gonna say somebody's butt cheek, but I didn't know who to say. But yeah, it looks like you can touch the pores of somebody's butt cheek or whatnot. It doesn't matter. But the movies, when they go to make them and they're filmed, the way that they're meant to be seen is the way they're projected onto the movie theater screen. So when they come back and they're all smoothed out and shit, nah, man. Like a lot of directors they're not down with that. They ain't down with that. I ain't down with that. So unless you can figure out a way to turn that shit off on your TV, which I did because I like that kind of gritty, that film look. That film look. You want to see movies that have, I mean, like I said, Mortal Engines. It's good. It's got great visual effects. The visual effects alone, and of course Hugo Weaving, the visual effects alone are enough to warrant to see this in a theater. Maybe as a matinee, if you're a little bit on the fence about it. This seems more like a movie where if like the one that you wanted to see has like already started, you're late for some reason sold out, and you might can see that movie later on in the day, then go see this while you're waiting for your other one to open up. Boom. Mortal Engines. Go check it out. Let's see here. Okay. I got a little bit of time to do this one, and then I'm going to have to take a little break here before I get cut off, because I don't want this damn thing to cut off in the middle of my review. This is going to be a little bit of a long episode, y'all. Next up on the Real Rush ticket, The Mule. This is directed by and starring Mr. Clint Eastwood in a role that's inspired by a true story where he plays a 90-year-old war veteran who's fallen on some hard times, and now he becomes a drug courier for a Mexican cartel. And he becomes pretty successful at doing this too. This also starred Bradley Cooper as a DEA agent who may or may not be on Eastwood's trail. Also stars Lawrence Fishburne, Michael Pena, and Diane West. One thing I found worthy of note, just because of the way my brain works, is that Bradley Cooper, Lawrence Fishburne, and Michael Pena all appear on screen for the first time within like 2 minutes of each other. And they are all part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yet I digress. The Mule. It's really good. It's really good. It's a Clint Eastwood film. You know he's not going to disappoint you. It's straight to the point. Cuts the fat off. What you see is what you get. It's good drama with some well-placed humor in it. Hence, it's a fantastic screenplay. The Mule. Eastwood fans are going to dig it the most. It's getting some mixed reviews. I mean, it's not his greatest effort. Personally, I think it's pretty high up there. You want to see The Mule. Yes, go see it in the theater. It's all the movies that I just mentioned here, they're all in wide release. Should be playing everywhere. In theaters everywhere. And I think nope. The last two. No. The Mule is rated R. For restricted audiences only. But yeah, The Mule, don't miss this one. I'm not sure if it has anything quite strong enough for any type of awards attention or anything, but hey, not everything's got to be, prima donna, even though this is really good. I really dug it. Go check out The Mule. Let me know what you think. Holla at your boy. And that gets us four movies. That gets us halfway actually through this Real Rush ticket. You have to excuse me while we take a little break here, because our joint is only set for some reason to record for 30 minutes. And it looks like we're going to go a little bit over that this weekend. I saw 8 fucking movies, and I'm a little wired, and I want to make sure that I get every bit of information out about these 8 movies for y'all. So hold tight. We're going to have a little jingle for y'all or something, and I'll be right back here with the second half of the Real Rush. Alright?
Jonathan Coachman, what's wrong with you? Huh? Need to step out that shit, sucker. You need to come back on down to reality. You need to listen to your boy, Juventud, Jenkins. I'm your boy. I'm the man. I'm the man around here, sucker. You best to listen to me. You better get. I'm the man to get you back in shape. I can make Coach relevant again. Y'all people know what I'm talking about. Anybody who needs help in their life, you need to call me right on down here, sucker. I'm Mr. Juventud Jenkins. That's 1-800-SLAP a motherfucker crazy.
I sat like this the whole time while I was waiting for my crew to do what we do. And by my crew, I mean me. I'm like the walking, talking DC Metro local independent filmmaker on a 9 Inch Nails tip. Filmmaker, film critic. Both on a 9 Inch Nails tip. Like Trent Reznor. I do it all, baby. I do it all. Maybe someday I'll add people to my Real Rush 9 Inch Nails clique. Or I'll be able to afford my own street team. But for now, it's just your boy. And your boy got 4 more movies for y'all. Let's keep it rolling. Now, and I am serious when I say this. Let's take it a little serious here for a second, as the next movie up here on the Real Rush ticket is the new movie, excuse me, Ben is Back. Now this stars Academy Award winner Julia Roberts, as well as Academy Award nominee Lucas Hedges, who's directed in this movie by his pops, Peter Hedges. This stars Lucas Hedges as a recovering addict, about 19 years old, who comes home from rehab to spend Christmas with his family. However, his past comes back to haunt him on his trip back home. And this also shows how his mother, played by Julia Roberts, has to deal with the consequences as well. Ben is Back is a heavy drama, yo. It's almost on par with Beautiful Boy. It's not quite as hard-hitting as Beautiful, because Beautiful Boy will shake you to your knees, yo. Ben is Back. Now, don't get me wrong. This is still hard-hitting. And that brings me to the fact that you gotta be aware of some triggers in this movie. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. But it's got gripping performances, especially by Roberts and especially by Hedges. It's a must-see. It's in limited release right now. I'm not sure if it's going to get a wider release or not. This one, I can't recall if I saw a commercial or not that said that it was coming out everywhere at some point. Yet I digress. But, yeah. Despite the fact that it is a must-see, again, it is almost on par with Beautiful Boy, with some real shit, man. I mean, there's some real topics that we're dealing with here, and these are topics that they're talked about, but they're not. They're talked about, but they're not expressed as often as they should be, especially in this kind of detail, for lack of a better term. That being said, you must beware of triggers of all kinds, physical, emotional, mental, psychological, in this film, same as with Beautiful Boy, especially if you personally dealt with or know someone who has dealt with these kinds of things. So that being said, ladies and gents, if you yourself or if you know someone who needs help, please don't be afraid to seek such, and please see the information that I'm displaying on the screen here. Let's just take a moment, let y'all take this down, and yeah, please don't be afraid to ask for help. But in the meantime, Ben is back. Definitely check out this movie. Gripping performances, and we might be too close. It might be too close to call to see if this will get any type of awards attention, which would be a shame, because this is the heavy hitter. Ben is back. Check it out. Next up on the Real Rush tickets, we got another highly anticipated movie with some hardcore performances. I'm talking about the much anticipated Mary, Queen of Scots. This stars Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie as cousins, Mary, Queen of Scotland, and Queen Elizabeth I of England and Ireland, respectively. And this chronicles the 1569 war between their two countries, despite initial harmonious attempts, bring peace to one another, even though the fact that Mary Queen of Scots is by blood heir to Elizabeth's throne. Now this is an untold story, and it's been greatly reviewed, but somewhat criticized for its historical inaccuracies. And I wanted to bring up the fact that if it's an untold story, how do we know if it's I'm not sure exactly the accuracies, and I'm not a history buff or a history writer or a history major or anything like that. Obviously, if you can enlighten me on this, please let me know. But it just kind of made me wonder, like, if this does turn out to be more accurate than inaccurate, then what else in history has not been told to us as well? I mean, there's still plenty of stuff out there that's still hidden from us, or is still taboo to speak of. This movie alone deals with a lot of taboo topics. But at the same time, it's still relatable, as in how political manipulation is timeless. So, yes. Outstanding piece of work. Powerful performances all around. Of course, especially by Ronan and Robbie. It's a fantastic period piece. It is currently in limited release. This, as well, I'm not sure if it will get a wider release. It certainly deserves one. But no matter, you should see it where you can find it. And a little piece of trivia for y'all. Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie were kept separate throughout pretty much the entirety of filming, so that way their confrontation on screen would be as intense and powerful as possible. Yeah, if that don't get you to want to see it, I don't know what will. And if Amber Heard running around for 2.5 hours in a skin-tight fish skin outfit doesn't get you to want to see Iron Man, I don't know. I'm just talking shit at this point. Who cares? Who cares? Get that right, CN? I'm wearing CN because I hit the 100, but I also hit 200 and 365. Maybe that's why I'm juiced, because maybe I should be like a case study on like what happens if you're subjected to way too many movies in a theatrical setting in a short amount of time. Maybe that's what this is. But no matter, yo, because as we move on from Mary to Queen of Scots, we move on to Vox Lux. Haven't heard of it? I'm about to tell you about it. This is a new film by actor and filmmaker Brady Corbett. You may remember him from the 5th season of 24. I think it was the 5th season of 24. But I digress. This stars Natalie Portman. It's an independent film as a pop rock star who was catapulted into fame as a young teenager by a severely violent tragedy. This basically deals with what happens when youngins are thrust into the limelight at an early enough age, way too fast, and I mean, and it's After Effects. To just bluntly put it like that. This is one of Portman's most stunning performances that I've ever seen in her prolific career. We're like the same age. It's insane. I remember seeing her for the first time I ever saw her in a movie was like Heat. I didn't see The Professional until like years later. It was either Heat or Mars Attacks or something. And I fell in love with her at that point. She just continues to amaze. And this movie is not, it's very, very, very limited release. I'm surprised we got a screening around here. It's definitely a hardcore art house film. But man, it's also got Jude Law in it. So he puts on an awesome performance as Natalie Portman's character's manager. And you got Willem Dafoe as the narrator to this joint. Yeah, I kicked off my Friday Night Angelica session with this one this past Friday, and it set the tone for the remainder of the evening. Not a movie that I'm talking about here tonight, or still have to talk about, is bad. You want to see this? Like I said, it's a very limited release. See it where you can find it, but beware, Vox Lux does constrain a trigger as well. The opening scene is so shocking that 2 of the 5 people in the theater walked out after this scene, never to return. So, take that for how you want to take it. And we're going to move right along to the last movie on tonight's Real Rush ticket. Shoplifters. Highly acclaimed. Highly acclaimed. This follows a family in Japan who shoplift among doing other low priority, for lack of a better term, jobs to support themselves in poverty. Now, a family's secret surfaces when they stumble upon and take in a stray little girl from the street. That doesn't sound like much on the surface, but there is so much more. This won the Palme d'Or at this year's Cannes Film Festival earlier this year. This is up for Best Foreign Language Film at the upcoming Golden Globes. And with the reviews that it's getting, it's already the Japanese entry for the upcoming Oscars for the same award for Best Foreign Language Film. With the reviews it's getting, it's a guaranteed shoo-in that this is going to get nominated for the same at the Oscars. And it totally deserves all of this. Wow. Such a gripping, yet I found it to be heartwarming at times film. If you can see it, it's gonna start getting hype more and more as we get close to the Oscars. I'm throwing that out there right now. Keep Shoplifters on your radar. If it's playing in a theater near you, please go see it. There's an actress in it. Her name is Kieran Kiki. She unfortunately passed away before this was released. So in between the time that it was filmed and it was released, she plays the grandmother in this movie, and her performance is, oh wow, yeah. If you can find Shoplifters, check it out. So that way you can say that you saw it before everybody started talking about it. Hot ticket on the limited circuit, yo. Shoplifters. And that, ladies and gents, is a wrap for episode 12 of The Real Rush. Thank y'all for not only tuning in, but for sticking with us. Sticking with your boy throughout this long-ass episode. This is epic of epic festivities, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get this put together and edited and produced and broadcast for y'all while I'm watching WWE Tables, Ladders, Chairs here in a little bit. Yeah, I digress. Please tune in next week, episode 13, where I will have for y'all the reviews of Mary Poppins Returns, which is already getting high acclaim. That's already up for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy at the upcoming Golden Globes. Welcome to Marwin, which I'm personally looking forward to hardcore. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, who did one of my all-time favorite trilogies, Back to the Future, amongst other things. He also did Forrest Gump, Castaway, Flight, prolific director. We also have Second Act, And I may or may not have the review for the new Peter Jackson documentary, They Shall Not Grow Old. And the reason for that is what I mentioned earlier in tonight's broadcast, is that I have a flat fucking tire. What happened is, after your boy got out of the Mule last night and started heading westbound on I-66, hit a pothole, and then, luckily, got real close to home before the low pressure tire light came on. And I knew. So my thing is, VDOT's been working on I-66 for well over a year. I know this because more often than not, I'm coming home westbound, late as shit, usually from my Friday night Angelica sessions. So we're talking about it like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And yet somehow it's backed up on traffic on I-66 because it's Northern fucking Virginia. Why wouldn't there be traffic even at 1:30 in the morning, right? And they got it down to 2, maybe sometimes even just 1 lane. Look, if you're gonna close more than 1 lane, there's only 4 lanes of I-66. If you're closing more than 1 lane, like you got 2 lanes closed, just go ahead and say you got half of fucking I-66 closed down. Just go ahead and do it. Just say you got half the interstate closed down. If you got 3 lanes closed, just go ahead and say you got 3/4 of the interstate closed down. The point I'm trying to get at is the joint's been closed down for all these nights on end, all year long, at this spot even, and yet the earth almost ate. Tito probably took a good chunk out of the tire, or just gave it a good puncture. I'll be able to get it fixed tomorrow. But hey, feed that. Hey, it's the holidays. Hey, get your shit together. Hey, Merry Christmas. Hey. But yeah, your boy almost ran Tito literally into the ground, kicking ass this weekend. So hopefully I'll be able to get They Shall Not Grow Old for you this week or for next week. But if not, I have that for you real soon. Nonetheless, next weekend will be an easier week by any means. So hopefully next week's episode will be much shorter as well. But for the time being, ladies and gents, if you have any questions, comments, anything at all that you want to relate to your boy, please go ahead and holler those on the comment section of this YouTube page. Please continue to subscribe. Thanks for subscribing so far to everybody who has done so far. Please continue to spread the word of The Real Rush, like everybody should be spreading love these days. And continue to stay tuned. Even more so, you can stay tuned almost on a live basis by just following your boy on Instagram for my movie check-ins as they occur. That's at JDubChampion, #TheRealRush. And until episode 13, ladies and gents, once again, this is the beginning of the holiday season. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Enjoy yourselves at the movies. Remember, when you're at the movies, you gotta keep the lips shut. You gotta keep them cell phones, gotta keep them put away, at least on vibrate. And if you could adjust the vibrate setting, don't put it all the way up on your pleasure setting. No. Put it all the way down on, he's barely even there setting. That's what you can do. So that way, nobody's disturbed. And until next episode, we'll see you next weekend. Peace out!